Check, 1, 2. Check. Make sure we're not muted this time. Alrighty. Konnichiwa, ladies and gentlemen. Live from Autopolis, welcome back to the Scorpio Esports channel. I am Scorpio Blade, and thank you all for tuning in once again. Season 2. Breaking ground in the early 90s, Autopolis has become a staple on the real-life Super Formula and Super GT calendars. While its dreams to host Formula 1 competition may have been dashed by a number of factors, it still hosts a grand array of competitions year-round. And now, the Scorpio Super Formula drivers look to add their names to that illustrious list. As we await the start of what looks to potentially be one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season, let's get you caught up on everything that happened last time out in Fuji. AMS Super S2K took pole position to start the race, but would fall back to 6th after an overly cautious start in the wet. He would recover quickly, however, and go on to win the race in dominant fashion. Excuse me just a moment. His teammate Ryan, aka Drift King, who lined up second on the grid, would face multiple battles en route to his second place finish, first battling with both Simpulse cars before putting on a defensive masterclass against a hard-charging Larson who had been mired down by a poor qualifying effort. All in all, however, it certainly seems like a return to form for the Apex group from last season. But perhaps the biggest talking point was the roller coaster race for our former championship leader coming into that race, Supa. Managing to qualify 3rd place, he started well and seemed to find his way out front until a call to slick tires on a still drying track sent him to the Shadow Realm. He would manage to recover back to 4th place on track, but would be dropped to 5th following a pair of 5-second time penalties, both for excessive weaving during battles. These incidents... Nope, that was confirmed. It looks like we are just about ready to get underway here for qualifying. We have a few new faces joining us today, as well as a returning one. Payme stepping back in for the Scorpio group, taking over for Alex for the time being while he is on vacation. We wish him the best. And also joining us, 2 new drivers, Renal and Orca. Welcome to you both. And we also have a grand total of 4 Simpulse drivers joining us on the grid today. Supa finding himself with 3 teammates to battle it out with. More on that later on as we are ready to go for qualifying. And I mentioned earlier, this should be, or could potentially be, one of the most important qualifying sessions of the season, as dirty air is expected to be quite a factor at this very high-speed circuit. Not many places to overtake, not many low-speed corners for a driver to sling it up the inside trying to make a pass happen. So it's going to be very important for these drivers to get a very good qualifying lap in. And do we see a potential shuffling of the grid with so many new faces and Apex, both Apex drivers looking a little bit off the pace compared to what they normally run? I suppose we will find out all in due time, as Gramenos is the first one out on track. Excuse me. I'm going to ride along with him on this outlap here. Just show just how technical of a circuit this is. So much time spent cornering. And as you would expect, a lot of potential for dirty air to really hamper these drivers. Won't be a factor in qualifying, as always. Slipstream turned off, so drivers will feel the effects of clean air regardless of where they are on track. Obviously, they will still need to navigate the drivers physically on track should they come up to a slow car, but we aren't expecting to see much of that today. Actually, let's ride on board with Gramenos here as he comes to the end of Sector 1. Jumping immediately up to third gear on the exit of the hairpin, flat out through this 100R corner. And now into potentially one of the taking opportunities on the track. This very slow hairpin off camber as well. So it could be very difficult for these drivers to manage to put power down on exit. Down the hill into turn, I forgot to pull up the track map, into turn 11, this is turn 12. Such a high speed, very flowing section, but then you are immediately hard on the brakes while still turning. Coming through turns 14 and 15, under the bridge for 16, climbing the hill still, through turn 17, and then the turn 18 kink. Very fine margins to keep it on track there. And Gramenos will set the first official time, a 1:22.9, which immediately gets eclipsed by Larson as he goes a 1:21.4. Now, one of the main talking points we've heard drivers complaining about so far this weekend has been tire wear. It is so bad to the point that they have been begging the race organizers to drop the mandatory use of the soft tire for the race. But they got no dice on that one. So tire strategy is expected to be quite an interesting talking point for today's event. As we see Larson on his outlap, the two AMS drivers currently second and third on the road at the moment. Both of them about half a second off of Larson's time. Or both of them within half a second of Larson's time. Vader has seemed to be on a strong form here this weekend. Currently fourth on the grid. Guzman also showing some decent pace. Gramenos currently P6. Radal in the number 44 machine. He's a newcomer to the series. So warm welcomes to him. Very excited to see what he can do. Then Jesus, also a newcomer to the series. One of the 4 Simpulse cars on the grid here today. Currently in 8th. Supa has found himself in 9th for the moment as he gets to work on another outlap. Ryberg currently running 10th. Orca, another series newcomer, in 11th in the number 88. Sam in 12th. Another one of the Simpulse drivers. And then Payme, the returning face of the series. Winner at Le Mans last season. So he'll be looking to try to find his way back to victory lane, hopefully. As I believe Larson just went even faster by a few thousandths. And He's already returned to the pit lane and begun another outlap. S2K's now starting lap. Purple sector 1 for him. Let's ride on board with him as he goes to complete this lap. Drops it into first, immediately jumps, skipping second gear into third as he exits the first hairpin. Completely flat out through 100R now, climbing the hill. Keeping it in fifth gear, braking just before that curb on entry. And again, here, dropping it into first and then immediately upshifting twice back up into third. Again, sequential shifters, so we are physically double shifting the car to go from first to third gear. A little bit wide through turn 14 though, that might have cost him a bit of time. And now through this very fast turn 17, trying to hang on to the car through the kink of turn 18 and across the line a little bit quicker. And now just 14 thousandths of a second off of Larson. I don't know what I was worried about for him in practice. He's clearly on the pace. Rev banging first gear, try to burn off a little bit of fuel. As Ryan comes around looking to complete another lap. No, sorry, that was an outlap. Now Ryan is on a lap, my apologies. Turn 1, using all the road and then some, dropping the left side tires off into the grass. Purple sector to start the lap. Keeping it neat and tidy through the first couple, through the opening sector. And you can see again, jumping it up into third gear immediately on the exit of these slow hairpins. Realistically, only 2 low-speed corners on the track, being those 2 hairpins, so very wide line, but that could potentially work for him. Not quite if he's going to be all over the road like that on exit. Flat out, just about through turn 11. He is wringing the neck of that thing as he tries to find every ounce of lap time he can. Under 2 minutes left in qualifying. Going to try to get it back to the inside of turn 17, flick it back to the left for 18, and over the line. Only 1,000th of a second faster than his previous lap. Still in third though. Gramenos up into fourth. Vader's been dropped to fifth, dethroned by Gramenos, as Ryan returns to the pits, and I think that will be it for his qualifying. He's not going to be able to get out and set another lap in that amount of time. S2K is on a lap, as is Larson. We'll ride on board with the current net pole sitter. Fifth gear, flat out, just about through that 100R. Super late on the brakes, able to keep it neat and tidy on exit. Charging now down the hill toward turn 11. And he was able to keep it flat out through there, lifting a little bit just to try to tighten up the corner for turn 12. Now just coasting it through, trying to keep the line nice and tight. Trying to keep the car in line, the tires wearing out on him, overheating, as he will cross the line, not to go faster. Door is open for S2K here, and that will do it for Larson. As time expires, this is it. Over the line. And S2K can't do it either. So that is the top 3 sorted unless someone else can find the pace. Gramenos still on a lap in P4. Vader 5th, Guzman 6th for the moment. Supa is down in 12th, a horrible turn of form from the first two races so far this season. Really needs to find some lap time here if he wants a shot at a decent result. Again, qualifying going to be super important here for today's race. Just one corner to go. Supa will exit turn 18 over the line and magically finds his way up into 6th. What a result for Supa. Found it when he needed it, but I'm sure he would have wished to be a little bit higher up the grid than that. A few more drivers rounding the final corner, as Radel will cross the line and finds his way up to 8th, jumping Payme by a 10th. And that is it for qualifying. So it is Larson from the two AMS drivers, S2K and Ryan. Gramenos leads the way for Scorpio in 4th, Vader up to 5th, Supa in 6th, Guzman in 7th, my apologies. Radel into 8th, Payme into 9th, Sam 10th, Jesus 11th, Rybird 12th, and Orca will round out our qualifiers in 13th. As you can see, Ivan reminding everyone in the chat, the Racing Soft and one other dry compound mandatory for today's event unless we see the introduction of rain. If a driver straps on either of the wet weather tires, that mandatory tire rule does go away. But though by the looks of things, it seems to be blue skies and sunny. So should be a very interesting strategy race here for us today. So with the grid now set, let's go over the Drivers and Teams Championship standings. From the drivers' standpoint, the top 4 in the standings have all converged within just 5 points of each other, with S2K leading, Supa, Alex, and Ryan, your top 4, and Larson sat in 5th, just 12 points off the lead. The rest of the top 10 in the standings follows Elcro, Gramenos, Guzman, Rybird, and Method, currently the top 10 in those standings. As for the Teams Championship, Apex assumes a sizable 19-point lead over Simpulse, with both the Scorpio and Foxhound teams a further 2 and 4 points back respectively. That Teams Championship still as close as ever, and with potential for that to be shaken up even more, with the Foxhound drivers of Larson and Vader both in the top 5. Can they give AMS a run for their money? And again, what can the Simpulse team do? Again, 4 cars on the grid, but only the top 2 drivers from that team will score points per round, regardless of who those top 2 drivers happen to be. So if qualifying results were to transfer over to race results, it would be Supa and Guzman scoring the points for their team. As we are just moments away from qualifying, I'm going to step away for just a moment before the race starts, and we will be ready to get going in just 60 seconds. 65 laps ahead of us, folks. Don't go anywhere. Final preparations have been made. Drivers making their way to the grid. Again, 65 laps ahead of us. Round 3 of Scorpio Super Formula Season 2. And boy, this is shaping up to be quite the doozy. As the drivers await for the lights. Can Supa find his form again? Who will win here at Autopolis today? It is lights out and we are underway, and it seems to be a good start for most of the field. We had one little further back seemed to have a slow start, but both AMS drivers side by side into turn 1, but they will sort themselves out immediately. Larson away in lead, and he's using overtake on lap 1. I believe that is still a topic for debate. I don't believe that that is allowed on the opening lap still, unless that rule got changed. S2K still in second. Ryan holding on to third just about, as Gramanos was trying to challenge him. Vader up into fourth. Supa has found his way into fifth. Gramanos ran a little bit wide. He's dropped down to sixth. Peme finding his way up into seventh as he gets around Riddell. Jesus in ninth. Guzman 10th. Sam, Rybird, and Orca rounding out the grid. As my apologies, overtake on lap 1 is allowed. Okay, so thank you for the clarification. I forgot that they got rid of that rule. So Larson leads the way from S2K, followed by Ryan, Vader, and Gramanos. The top 5. Gramanos is running wide though. He's putting it out onto the gravel. He's got to be careful as he rejoins the circuit here. Shopping in front of Jesus. I don't believe they picked up damage, but that will certainly have lost him a lot of time, and I'm sure Race Control will look into that rejoin. As Guzman now all over the back of Riddell as they run it down into turn 1 to start lap 2. Side by side, and that number 11 is going to clear his way back up into 7th. He was the car that was slow off the line. Jesus with a big slide on exit, as he's now going to challenge for 8th place. But thinks better of it going into turn 3. Oh, but Riddell's wide. He's running off circuit. He will drop 2 more spots back behind Gramanos. And still running it out wide. Having a lot of trouble keeping that car under him for the time being. As Gramanos trying to close in on Jesus. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Larson has pulled up over a 1.7 second lead over S2K. He's got a 1.3 second lead over his teammate Ryan, as Vader looks to hunt down the second of the 2 AMS. Supa hanging on into 5th place for the moment. Looking to make up ground. Again, that qualifying effort, he qualified in 6th, but again, he would have really wanted to be up toward the front. Until today, he hadn't had a worse he had qualified 3rd for both races. Top 5, top 6, still all fairly close together. Only 4 seconds separating that, the top 5 for the moment. Vader with a bit of a snap-on exit as he got his tire out into the grass. We'll run it a little bit wide. Got to be careful. This could open the door for Supa here into the hairpin. No, Dirty Air gonna chop in here for him. Not gonna let him get close enough to think about a move into the first of the 2 hairpins. Dirty Air playing a factor. The turn 100R no longer flat out as it was in qualifying for these drivers who are stuck back in the Dirty Air. As they plunge down the hill toward turn 11 once again. Vader trying to close in on Ryan. Larson continuing to run away for the time being over S2K. Top 2 now with about a second between them, both out front and behind. As Supa looks to hunt down Vader. Peme currently sat in the wings, waiting to pounce should there be an altercation. Supa hasn't necessarily had the cleanest start to the season so far, as we see that is Gramenos going for a move on Jesus, and he's going to make his way up into 8th place, or back up into 8th place, I should say. As Paymay's gone for a spin, commentator's curse strikes again. Oh my gosh. What on earth has happened? Paymay is going to quickly recover. No damage on his car, fortunately. But that certainly will have cost him a lot of track position. He's out wide again onto the grass, exiting turn 8. And it looks like he's going to finally start to settle back in that 8th place. Jesus, though, all over his gearbox at the moment. The dirty air should help him pull away a little bit before the main straight. So that will promote Guzman up into 6th, as Supa has gotten around Vader here, actually. So Supa now up into 4th place, and he will be the one to chase after Ryan. And boy, these two have put on quite a show already in the opening parts of the season. Of course, we can't forget that insane penultimate lap battle between them at Bathurst, unfortunately ending in tragedy, as they would both go off. Supa managing to limp it home for the win, but Ryan would drop to 4th on that day, and I'm sure that battle's still lingering in the back of his mind as he gets ready to potentially defend against Supa here for what wouldn't be the first time this season. Vader seems to be dropping back a little bit. Well, he has started on the soft tire, though, so tire wear already coming into play just 5 laps in. Guzman closing in at a rate of knots, still with some pretty decent tread wear on those tires, as Gramenos and Paymay have not swapped positions. Most drivers have started on the medium. For the moment, it looks to be just Vader who started on the soft, getting his mandatory tire set out of the way immediately, as Radell with a huge slide coming through turn 16 hangs on to it, but he's going to lose a lot of time as he was out very wide. Vader into the pits already to get off of those tires. So really, the soft's only good for about 5 laps before they drop off a cliff. And Vader is now out onto the hard tire, which I'm sure we're going to see quite a lot of today. Orca currently running in 12th for the moment. Sam in 11th. Rybird actually started on the hards for Rybird, running 10th. Then it's Riddell, Jesus, Paymay, and Gramenos leading up to the 6th place position. Guzman has found himself into 5th, with Vader now pitting. Supa runs 4th, now 1.6 back from Ryan, and it looks like Ryan has been slowly growing that gap. With S2K just seemingly biding his time. Not necessarily trying to close after Larson for the moment. But sat at a far enough distance back where I would assume he is currently protecting his tires and trying to make sure he can go as long as he needs to make whatever his pit strategy work. As we cycle through the field here, we're going to see if there's anyone close for a battle at the moment. Closest one seemingly Vader and Orca on circuit. No, I lie. It is... No, off by 1. Riddell and Jesus gonna go at it. Let's actually look back and see what happened to Paymay a few laps ago. If I can find Paymay. There we go. So coming into turn 3, Oh, he just got on throttle a little bit too hard, spun up the rear tires, went for a spin. Very lucky to keep it out of the wall. That's about as safe of a rejoin as he could have done there. So well done to Payme for not losing any more time than that. A quick little half spin and he's back underway. Still running in that 7th place position. And the medium tire already wearing out. This is going to be a very pit stop heavy race by the looks of things already. 7 laps in and the medium tire is already down to about 50% worn. As Gramenos looks to be closing in on Guzman here for P5. Seemingly a lot better tire wear for the Scorpio drivers. And this does look to be one of the closer battles on circuit. He is dropped behind Vader and Orca. I believe he probably would have just run it wide through turn 14 as Orca goes wide through turn 3, and that's going to allow Vader to go through. I know he only put those hard tires on a couple laps ago, but they seem to be the tire to be on for this race. As Larson, I think, has had an issue somewhere. He's lost half a second. Certainly, how well your setup handles tire wear are going to play a factor. Larson has lost at least half a second on that previous lap. He must have had an issue somewhere, because S2K has closed in rapidly. Ivan raises a great point in the chat. The AMS drivers, really good for tire wear. Everyone else has already dropped down to about 50% wear on their tires. They've only just gotten to about a quarter. So their tire is going to be able to go very long into the stint, and with their sheer race pace that they showed in qualifying, they are going to be sitting pretty here for today's race, as long as they can keep themselves out of trouble. So S2K already beginning the hunt after Larson here. We'll see just how much his tire wear starts ramping up now that he's got into the dirty air. Very little overtake used as well. As compare Ryan and Larson's top speed, can do. So we'll take a look at what Larson can do down the main straight here as he exits the final corner. He's going to use a little bit of overtake as well. So exited the corner at about 130. He's going to climb his way up to 170. Seems to be where he was topping out. And Ryan's seemingly pretty similar for top speed, maybe a few more mile an hour on him. Was able to eclipse the 170 mark. And S2K continuing to close in, so presumably a little more downforce on Larson's vehicle. Should help him in the corners, although will put a little more load through the tire. Spin for Gramenos, and oh dear. That's unfortunate. Luckily for him, we'll see if we can catch it. No, unfortunately we were a bit slow to catch it. So he has dropped behind Payme, but only behind Payme. So Gramenos has apparently had a bit of a trip to the gravel, able to hold on to it though for the time being. Payme also seemingly beginning to close in on Guzman, whose tire's really going off a cliff here. Only 10 laps on the medium. He's been able to make those last. Surely he's going to come into pit here. No, he's going to stay out yet another lap. That tire is going to be screaming by the end of this. Payme all over him, and going to have a huge grip advantage. As S2K has gotten around Larson, the tire wear advantage has kicked in enough, and that is S2K up into the lead. Hopefully... No, I was too late to get that as well. Gosh dang it. So S2K up into the lead, with what seems to be the most gentle car on the tires in the field. Ryan with also incredibly good tire wear for what he's running. I'm a little surprised S2K has not shared some setup information with a few other people. I know he has spoken in the past that he has shared some setup data with a few close friends of his who also compete in the series. Larson into the pits, the first of the leaders in. And I apologize, I'm not really saying anything at the moment. I'm just a bit flabbergasted at how they're able to make these tires last so long. There's a wave of drivers come into the pits. Payme leading in Guzman and Riddell, as Orca and Vader are going to stay out here. Vader going to jump them all in pits. Or no, actually. He is only going to be able to get Riddell here. And that's Vader back up into 10th. Oh, but Riddell's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That'll be for the pit entry. A very difficult one to get right here, especially on tires so very worn out. So he will have to serve that penalty on the downhill, as Vader and Orca continuing to battle it out. And how... I mean, we can call it tire saving, but I don't know if it really is. They're not exactly crawling for pace. The AMS driver's just flying out there for the moment. Although perhaps this could be a saving grace. It looks like we've got a little bit of cloud cover coming in, at least over turn 1. So fingers crossed we see a little bit of a who is yet to pit. So Supa running a net P4 for the moment. And it is definitely down to their setup that they are able to keep these tires alive as much as they are, putting very little stress through them. Either that, or they've done something with the tire pressures, potentially. Would be only a couple of the guesses I would have as to why they're able to hang on to this as long as they are. And it's definitely not placebo. There is a definite cloud cover coming over the circuit. And yes, that is also a fair point. There is very little that these drivers can do in terms of what they can change on the setup. As there is a definite haze coming over the circuit now from turn 1. Granos, still staying out for a few more moments, or for another lap. As I would imagine Supa will likely get around him here in a few quarters' time. Such is the tire wear difference between them. Larson is without question gaining, but he is also running the hard tire, at the moment, and both AMS drivers still yet to pit, and should be able to run potentially, at the moment it looks like they're able to go twice as long as anyone else on the same set of tires. We saw most of the field dive off, pit on lap 12 to get off of the medium tire. Heck, the AMS guys might be able to go to about lap 24. Question at that point would be, is Larson able to close up the gap enough to basically make up a full pit stop? He's a hard charger, and if anyone's got the pace to do it, it is Larson. So, on that note, we will have to wait and see. Grabanos finally into the pits, relinquishing his fourth place, or what was fourth place, as he will pit onto the medium tire. Another set of mediums for Grabanos, as he comes out ahead of Orca and Sam. And so that leaves Riddell and Jesus, the first two drivers, out in front of him. Vader has made his way back up to 8th, again the first one to come into the pits, although again he did start on the soft tire and was the only one to do so. Guzman looking to battle with Rybird here for 6th place. All over the overtake button as they come up into the hairpin. Not quite. Oh, Rybird left the door open. And they're going to be side by side down into turn 11 here. This could get dangerous. No, Rybird's going to back out and let them have it. So as this all continues to unfold, I'm going to remind everyone, all our viewers at home, keep your eyes on the little weather indicator bottom left of your screen next to the race timer. Once you start seeing a little white bar climbing, that is moisture on the track. Do we see rain here today? Weather was set to random. I should have a radar. Unfortunately, I don't have a way to check it. So, unless someone knows how I can access a weather radar from Spectate Cam, you wouldn't happen to know what the control is to adjust that, do you? Nope, not that. Bear with me, folks. I think I'm about to get a crash course in how to change the menu. Nope, not that. What button is it? Okay, so I thought so. Unfortunately, I cannot check the weather radar. So, Ivan, if you want to become an unofficial weatherman, I would greatly appreciate that. Larson continuing to close in. He's gained about 3 seconds on Ryan since the last time we checked in. We will not be leaving the Spectate Cam for the sake of potentially missing anything. S2K has continued to pull away from Ryan at the same time. S2K previous laps have been fairly low 26s, high 25s. Ryan's been running in the mid 26s. Larson running about the mid to low 25s. So gaining about a second a lap on S2K at the moment, despite being on the harder tire. So while the soft tire seems to only last about 5 laps, the hard tire seems to have no trouble at all going a fairly long distance here. Supa is actually slowly getting caught by Peimei here. Although Peimei also running the medium tire. So likely we'll need to make an additional stop. Guzman running 6th for the moment. Rybird in 7th as he is being caught by Vader. As we jump on board with Vader as he looks to make the move. And yes, that is Gramenos up past Jesus for P9. Vader closing in on Rybird at a rate of knots. Does he look to make the move into turn 3? Rybird's going to go defensive into the corner. Oh, not quite enough room. Vader able to hold on to it, and Rybird's actually going to give him the spot back. Incredible sportsmanship from Rybird. I think he tried leaving Vader the room on the outside. Unfortunately, just pushed a little bit wide on those tires. Wasn't able to make it stick, but kudos to him to just give up the spot. As S2K is into the pits, I did not miss it before anyone tries saying it. Both AMS drivers into the pits, lap 19. So 7 laps further on the medium than anyone else. And be only 2.6 seconds back from Larson after going so much longer. That is really impressive for S2K. So don't count Larson out just yet, but he's probably going to need a lot of pace if he's going to be able to hold off the tire wear advantage that the AMS drivers seem to have. And S2K now out on the mediums. So he should be able to catch Larson pretty quickly here. Gramenos did get past Rybird. I believe we saw that before we cut away to see the AMS stops. If not, I apologize. As now Rybird gonna come under attack from Jesus here. Briefly scroll through the grid, make sure I'm not missing anything else. Doesn't look like it. Looks like there's a battle coming out of the hairpin here, and that is Vader and Gramenos. That is Gramenos actually catching Vader for P7 here on the medium tire compared to Vader's slightly used soft, or sorry, not soft, hard tire. Vader a little wide through 14. That'll allow Gramenos to get even closer. Oh, Vader with a huge snap, and he's going to go around. A horrible incident for Vader. Just a big snap of oversteer coming out of turn 16. I don't want to think there was contact, because it looked like the car was already sideways before then. We'll take a look. No damage on either car. Somehow Vader did not rip off a front wing. I could have sworn he clobbered the inside wall there. Let's take a look and see what happened. I'm going to ride it on the third person cam here just to really make sure, see what happened here. Coming through the corner. Yeah, just a snap of oversteer. He got so lucky to hit the wall at the angle that he did. No damage somehow for Vader, and he's going to be able to continue. And that is going to be a huge relief for him. Obviously a huge loss of track position, but a big saving grace that he's not going to have to come into the pits to repair anything. And light rain is on the radar, I'm being told. Will it be enough for the intermediate, or do we see someone try to stay on the slick tires? As Jesus is into the pits, getting all up over the pit entry curbs. And boy, did he take that thing down to the carcass. Wait to see what tire he exits the pits on, and it is on the soft. So you're getting the mandated soft tire out of the way. Will it last long enough, and is he counting on the rain to come in within the next 5 laps? But in the meantime, he will be flying around the track. Back up at the front, Larson still leads, but S2K is closing in, only by a couple tenths a lap though. 25.5 to a 25.7, but did take almost a second out of him the lap prior. So potentially just dirty air now, slowly starting to hinder S2K. As it looks like they are catching up to a couple back markers. So how much will that come into play a factor here? Larson making his way through that very awkward off-camber hairpin, charging down the hill. S2K continuing to close in little by little. Fighting the dirty air. Trying to close in. That softer tire working a treat for him to overcome that disturbed hot air off the back end of Larson. And he actually got a really good run through turns 17 and 18, gained quite a bit. Just about a second back as Riddell exits the pits. And gained another 3 tenths. Larson now starting to feel the dirty air off of Orca. And Payme now into the pits. S2K with a little bit of a wider line, but that's going to let them get a nice straight exit as they make their way through 100R. Closing in still, under half a second now. And surely you would start to think Larson's begging for blue flags from the back marker in front at this point. Still being held up by dirty air. I'm shocked Orca hasn't jumped out of the way yet. This has helped S2K a treat here. Under 3 tenths. Is he going to look to make the move here? We'll jump on board with him as they charge down into turn 1. Larson's still getting held up. Orca's going to run out a bit wide. That's going to hold him up. They're going to be side by side, potentially 3 wide into turn 3. S2K around the outside of Larson, and he will make it stick. And I'm sure the stewards will have something to say about that one. Nothing to the fault of S2K, but they will certainly be looking into why the lap car did not get out of the way. Again, a reminder, I believe the penalty format is for every second that the lap car costs the driver on the lead lap is an additional 5-second time penalty. I believe is how the rule book is written. I could be completely wrong. But I'm sure if I'm wrong, the marshals will jump into chat and give me the correct answer. But regardless, what that does mean is S2K is out into the lead and more importantly into clean air and on a softer tire to continue to run away from Larson here. Already with a 2-second almost lead, as Ryan has started to close in on Larson as well in that exchange. Just about 6 seconds back is Supa, now 9 seconds back from Ryan. Gramenos running in the 5th position, just ahead of Peme, who again we saw jump into the pits. We're now on to the hard tire. Sky's starting to open up a little bit, so it looks like the rain or whatever rain was nearby has bypassed us. Looks like the wind direction is starting to shift as well, picking up a little speed as well. Certainly nowhere near as strong as what we saw last time out in Fuji, but fairly strong wind nonetheless. As it looks like we should get a little inter-team battle between the Scorpio drivers in a few moments' time. Vader has recovered back to 7th place, back ahead of Guzman. Jesus exiting the pits with a half-second penalty. That will be for track limits somewhere, not for pit entry or exit though, which will be good news for him. Not actually sure where he would have picked up that penalty. The only spot I could realistically think of would be off the exit of 100R. Perhaps just ran a bit wide. Picked up the half-second that way. Back to the battle of Peme versus Gramenos. And Peme's going to exit the corner, tuck into the slipstream, and he's going to chase after him here. Actually using second gear for a brief moment, getting into turn 1, trying to rotate the car. And again, he's going to be at a slight mechanical grip disadvantage being on the hards. But again, those hard tires much fresher than Gramenos' pretty worn out mediums. So despite being on the harder compounds, Peme should have the overall grip advantage over Gramenos. It'll just be a matter of trying to find any amount of clean air he can whilst getting as close as he can to make the pass happen. Under half a second as they come into this very high speed technical back half of the lap. This will be where Gramenos should be able to pull away a little bit because of the dirty air. The good news is, because this track is so wide, there's a slight amount of alteration that these drivers can do with their racing line to just find little nibbles of clean air to get to their front wing. Try to help them rotate through the corner. Peme all over the overtake button, but Gramenos is actually going to jump out of the way. Understands that Peme's on an alternate strategy, and he's not going to hold him up any longer. So how about that for teamwork between the two Scorpio drivers? Peme now up into 5th, and will continue on his merry way. Vader into the pits. Seemingly a bit early to get off of those hard tires. Considering how far they were all willing to take the medium, but either way, Vader still in 8th place, staying ahead of Rybird, who is on the hard, and Vader should be able to pull away now on his mediums. As Larson makes his, I believe this is his 2nd stop of the day, and he will get off of the hard tire as well. So I believe this is a predetermined strategy from the Foxhound teammates. Pit on lap 28 to go an amount of distance. And this is the great thing about having tire wear so high at a circuit like this, is yes, you might not see as much on-track overtaking because of all the dirty air that these drivers have to face. But it always keeps you out of the loop for what they are planning tire strategy-wise. As I believe we just saw Gramenos, yes, come out of the pits. He's now out onto the hards. He will exit the pits behind Guzman for the moment. But being only 6 seconds back, I'm sure that gap's going to start coming down at a rate of knots here in a few moments. Everyone's seemingly pretty spread out at the moment as we continue to circulate the circuit. I believe we are just past a third of the way through today's running. Back up toward the front, S2K doing a bit of a tire wear check, and yeah. Again, he's had those tires on for 10 laps now, and they are only about a third of the way worn through. Absolutely insane, the magic that S2K and the AMS group have been able to do to figure out how to be so gentle on those tires. And still extract so much lap time out of them. Extremely impressive from the reigning series champion. And of course, same kudos to his teammate Ryan, who is running an equally strong race here today. I did say at the beginning of the broadcast after Fuji, it really did look like a return to form for the Apex drivers after I mean, there's really no way to put it. It's just an absolute bloodbath at Bathurst for them. You know, one driver disconnecting, S2K with his wheel disconnecting issues, and then Ryan, just the unfortunate incident down at turn 1 whilst battling for the lead. And man, that they have really, ever since that race, they have absolutely turned up the wick and have been absolutely on it. S2K loves a strategic race, and this one seems to have played into his hands once again. How about that a couple laps ago? A 1 minute 25 dead. Not the fastest lap of the race. That honor goes to Ryan, who set a 1:24.5 a few laps ago. Ryan's a little all over the place for lap time, it seems. Can't decide whether he wants to be in the mid-25s or the mid-24s, or the high 24s, but he has put on an equally impressive race and certainly has quite a lot of pace to go with it. As Larson now 30 seconds back from S2K. Of course, Larson pit after S2K got around him, so it should be a full pit stop gap up to S2K. Questions at this point, the question is becoming, can Ryan get around him on pit strategy? About 16 seconds between Ryan and Larson. So assuming that it's about a 20-second pit stop delta to get in and out of the pits, Ryan's got to find another 4 seconds over Larson over the remaining 35 laps of this race. Closing in on halfway, and at a rapid pace. Cloud covers definitely seems to have dissipated. Track heating up once again now that it's got direct sunlight on it. So potentially going to see a little bit of overheating issues for some of these drivers and their tires, but that'll be something to keep an eye out for as they start to slip and slide as even more than they already have. Peme, on his return to the series, still running in 5th. Got a 15-second gap over Guzman, who I would assume will be, and that gap actually should remain stable, as Guzman will need to pit before Peme. Gramenos looks to be in, and yes, is closing in on Guzman, set his personal best lap of the race last time around, 1:25.2. Another 3 seconds of clean air, or more like a second and a half of clean air before he gets up to the back of Guzman, so I'm sure that tire advantage will be exceedingly in his favor by that point. After his spin, Vader has continued to run in 8th place, set a 1:24.7 last lap, and actually only 0.2 off of Ryan's fastest lap. So could he try to steal the fastest lap point away at some point here? Ryberg currently running in 9th place at the moment. Seems to be out on his own as well for the time being, as we have Jesus now coming under blue flags for Ryan, so he needs to start getting out of the way here. Although it doesn't seem like he's doing so in a hurry. And yeah, this is definitely going to start holding up Ryan here. Now he'll jump out of the way. So he was probably just looking for a safer place to do it. Orca coming under blue flags, as that is Supa catching up to the back end. And I believe we might have a battle for 3rd here in a few moments. And yes, that is Larson now catching up to the back of Supa. Larson, of course, having recently pitted for the hard tire. Supa's been on those tires for at least 10 laps now. So we'll see just how much that extra tread wear is worth, as Supa continues to be held up again by Orca, causing a few lap car issues. This allowing Larson to get within half a second for a moment of Supa. Supa got a better exit out of turn 1. Excuse me. Larson looking to make up ground, having lost out to the lap car earlier. Now seemingly trapped behind Supa. Going to get on the overtake, exiting the corner. Not quite close enough to think about a dive bomb into the hairpin. But he is certainly getting a lot closer. Let's ride on board with him, shall we, as he looks to set up the move on Supa. You can see how much Supa's actually running it wide, whether it's just his tires starting to wear out or trying to find an alternate line, trying to get a little bit of clean air. Although that's going to open the door, a little bit of contact side by side as Larson got up alongside him. And now Orca going to try to get out of the way of these two finally. Does Larson think about a move up the inside? No. Well, he thought about it, and he's going to just about get it done. It looked like Supa was going to get him under the brakes, but ran it a bit wide, and that allowed Larson to sneak his way through. But once again, the lap car playing a factor in a battle for position on the lead lap. You would have imagined that without the lap car there, Supa would have at least lasted another lap or potentially two with clean air on his nose to not have to try to search around for clean air and find grip. Because running wide in that penultimate corner is really what allowed Larson to attack him down the main straight. But that has left Larson 18 and a bit seconds back from Ryan. So again, we raise the question, does Ryan have the pace to jump Larson in the pits? Supa is going to jump in to get off of those worn out hards. And we would imagine Payme is easily going to be able to get around Supa here on pit exit. But he was about 15 or so seconds back, so I think Ryan now does have the gap just about to stay ahead of Larson if he were to pit within the next lap or two. Guzman is into the pits, and once again he's taking that thing down to the carcass on that left front tire. Should easily come out ahead of Rybert here to hang on to 8th. Leaving Vader up into 7th. As it looks like this is the closest on-track battle for the moment. Supa versus Payme. Payme on a fairly worn-out hards at the moment, so Supa should be closing in pretty rapidly here. See who this, if I can find where these people are. And that is Orca and Riddell battling for 11th, that next battle on track. But we will jump back up to Payme and Gramenos, or Payme and Supa here, excuse me, as they charge their way down to turn 1. Supa finding another 10th and a half through the opening corner. Now right into the clutches of the dirty air. As we are now officially halfway through this race. Still a long way to go. And anything can happen, but you would have to imagine S2K and Ryan doing very well. As speaking of which, S2K is into the pit lane. Getting off the medium tire as we jump back to Supa and Payme. Payme doing an excellent job filling in for Alex, who I know we've seen in the live stream chat, so hello, and happy to have you here watching on. Payme gonna go for a spin! Oh, no! Is that twice I've commentators cursed him today? Oh, hang on to it. Oh, dear. And that's front wing damage to repair as well. I've got to stop. Oh, dear. That's such a shame. Running so well in the top 5, and just like we saw with Vader earlier on, having a car on the gearbox, whether I don't know if it's taking air off the rear wing perhaps, and that's why they're getting loose, If there was contact potentially, I don't know. But man, oh God, I feel evil. I feel evil for, like, I know Commentator's Curse is, like a wives' tale and all that. But my gosh, it does not feel good when it happens. Alright. Well, only thing we can do, look back and watch what happened. Flying on board with him, and yeah, he just... Oh, it was a wheel... No shot! His wheel disconnected. Right rear suspension damage. Man, that's such a shame. So I see Supa had a bit of a word for Orca there a few moments ago. I wonder if, that might be why. I believe he's, expressing his displeasure at, Orca, holding him up now for the second time. Supa having now just set the fastest lap of the race. He's looking for a way around the lap car. Finally going to get it as Orca lets off the accelerator. Was there contact just then? Did Orca just run into the back of him? We're going to take a look at that on a replay here and see exactly what happened here. So Orca, very early on the brakes, it has to be said. I don't know if there was contact, but it certainly got close. Supa clearly not happy with him. And like I had mentioned earlier, as looks like the AMS driver is currently getting held up, or Ryan at least getting held up by black traffic. He did in fact have the pit delta to get out ahead of Larson. So all that battling with Supa and Orca has cost Larson yet another spot. Although it looks like Ryan now is going to have his turn to deal with the lap traffic. Stuck in behind Jesus and Rybird. It was Jesus with a big step of oversteer. Ryan actually had to lift off to make sure he didn't run into him. That'll allow him to get around and ahead, but Larson has been able to close in rapidly because of it. Now under a second and a half, as Rybird fortunately does jump out of the way fairly quickly. And now it's Larson's turn to deal with the lap cars. And Rybird's now going to be stuck in a hard spot here. He's going to have to try to defend from Jesus while also trying to let Larson go here. 3 cars under a blanket. Larson trying to find an opening to get around these guys, but they're not letting them go. Blue flags are out for these 2 drivers. Jesus is just refusing to give way here. Larson finally able to throw one up the inside. I think he might have just punted Jesus off. Jesus is going to jump into the pits, finally. And Rybird does concede and get out of Larson's way. Let's take a look back at that. So Jesus is going to run the wide line here. Larson's going to fire one up the inside, and Contact's going to put Jesus off. Wrong button. There it is. So it definitely cost Larson a heap load of time to Ryan there. Vader jumps into the pits, by the way. Yeah, that I'm sure the stewards will look into that one as well. Because while obviously Jesus should have been jumping out of the way of Larson there, it still doesn't warrant him getting shoved off into the gravel there. Payme is going to jump into the pits as well from 8th place. Again, Payme on a bit of a recovery drive after the latest spin a few laps ago. Now out onto the medium, so I'll expect him back in around lap 55 or so. So Supa getting on the horn to the lap cars, trying to tell them to get out of the way. Bunch of new faces to the series. Ultimately, I think they might have missed some of the blue flag rules in the rule book. So I'm sure the stewards will have a little word with all of our newcomers after the race. Either way, Supa now out on his own in 4th place. Yeah, the stewards are definitely going to be busy this weekend. They were busy last weekend with some of the incidents we had. The ones last weekend, a few more accidents than, anything obviously intentional, but certainly things that they had to look over. Drivers then filed a couple appeals, trying to having a few disputes over whether or not things were worth a penalty. But regardless, stewards ended up, what's the word? They upheld their standings, and penalties were applied appropriately. But I think I missed that message that was just sent in the chat. We have spoken to every new driver regarding the rules, including blue flags. Well, evidently it seems to have slipped their minds, unfortunately. But I suppose that's racing, I guess. Not much these drivers can do about it other than get their head down and chase after it. As it looks like we've got a bit of cloud cover coming back. Now, if the game would be ever so nice as to actually give us a bit of rain and make it look like I know what I'm talking about, that would be great. Oh, Vader's picked up damage? Oh, no. Oh, no. Right front suspension damage. I'm not entirely sure how he would have picked that up. If he got into a wall somewhere, you would have imagined front wing would have also gone. We can try a replay, but I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, it's way too late, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a shame. And he had just set the fastest lap, too. He does have a pit stop gap behind. He did just set the fastest lap of the race, so hopefully he'll be able to hold on to it. Actually doesn't look like it's hurting him too much. I mean, obviously he's catching up to a car on hard tires. I mean, it would have had to have been something exiting turn 1, maybe. We'll see what his lap time is here. And that can't be right. Unless he somehow managed to set that lap time with the damage. As he's actually going to fire it around the outside of Guzman. And Vader's going to make that stick. That right front suspension damage doesn't seem to be doing anything. Larson is into the pits, getting off the hard tires. Larson, top 3 all do still need to run the soft tire at some point in this race. He is out on the mediums. So realistically, he needs to take that to lap 60 if indeed the soft tire will only go about 5 laps. And so yeah, that's and yeah, that I would assume that has to be a bit of a glitch, that the game thinks that he has suspension damage and he's still running, although now he's just run a 126.1, so yeah, I'm inclined to believe that perhaps he did just have a bit of a spin exiting turn 1 on the previous lap, and for whatever reason, timing and scoring just didn't read correctly. Which is a real shame then, because he would have had incredible pace to go and chase after the guys in front of him before that spin happened. Gramenos seemingly out on his lonesome in P5. Got a pit stop gap back to Vader. Who has, again, we saw got around Guzman. Payme running 8th again on his own, having just his personal best lap. Riddell just went fastest lap of the race in P11, but he is on the soft tire. So this is also part of the pit strategy that I think the AMS guys are thinking about here, is obviously they want to maximize as many points as they can get. So are they trying to hang on to their I mean, they're going to only want to run one set of soft tires. So do they try to hang on to it until the final few laps of the race, and that's when they put the tire on? And then to that degree, can they run long enough on, they should be able to run long enough on this set of medium tires to get to that window to throw on the softs and go for fastest lap. Working lap 48, they pitted onto these tires 8 laps ago. I think they're trying to run this out until their window to go onto the softs opens. So I would say, assuming that they can run maybe 7 laps on the softs, getting their wear advantage over everyone else. So realistically, they only need to go another 10-ish laps, which should be fairly easy on these tires. And they have done a 19-lap stint already on the mediums this earlier this race. Larson has set his personal best lap of the race a lap ago. And light rain is in the area. But do we see it make its way onto the track? So Larson running half a second faster than Ryan at the moment per lap. But he's got to close that gap down. He's got to close that gap right down if he's going to want any shot at trying to come out ahead of Ryan when Ryan does eventually make his final pit stop. And all of this assuming Larson is able to try to even go to the end here. But with another 16 laps to go on those mediums, it might be a bit of a stretch for him. If he was in an AMS setup, I would absolutely agree. He could probably go to the end from here. But I just don't see that happening, unfortunately. Not at the rate of where we've seen compared to the AMS drivers. It is less fuel, so the cars will be a lot lighter, which will in turn help with tire wear, so we will see. But even still, it's going to be fine margins for him to then try to hold off against a fresh set of soft tires and a very hard charging Ryan with twice as much overtake to use! Holy, was that Orca exiting the pits that he was that slow? What on earth happened there? Was that as close as it looked from my point of view, or am I just seeing things? So Ryan charged down into turn 1, and okay, so he would have seen him for quite a while. But Orca just not going. My goodness. It wasn't as close as I initially thought, but that certainly would have been a lot closer than you would have liked to see. Larson down into the 23s, not quite at fastest lap pace just yet. But he is certainly taking chunks out of Ryan every lap here. Again, that pit stop delta seems to be about 17 or so seconds, I would think. I believe the pit delta is about 17, maybe 18 seconds. So Larson will have the pace to be ahead of Ryan once Ryan does come into the pits. Again, we're assuming the AMS drivers are on a one stop to the end from here. As Supa comes into the pits from the mediums, he will probably go on to another set of mediums to the end. We are assuming S2K and Ryan are on a strategy where with about 7 or so laps to go, they will come into the pits, throw on their mandatory set of softs that they still need to run, and then go to the end. There was rain on the radar. We are currently waiting to see if it does make its way onto the track. Larson... Actually, I don't know if Larson has run his mandatory set of softs yet either. I know Vader has. I know his teammate has run the softs. Vader has started on them. I don't recall Larson running a set of softs yet. AMS has run 12 laps already on these medium tires. And they're only just about 50% warm. Would it be... the message is cutting off for me. Oh, wait, no, I've got the chat open. It would not be legal for them to go to the end. They have not run a set of soft tires yet. All drivers are required to run at least one set of the softs. So both AMS drivers absolutely need to come in to make one more pit stop before the end here. The question is whether or not Larson does as well. I can't say... I'm leaning towards he does still need to as well. I just can't recall if he has snuck into the pits at some point to put on a set of softs at some point, or if I just don't remember. Supa is running the mediums. Well, you know what? Point might be mute, because there is rain. We have rain on the circuit, just not a lot of it. Rain is slowly making its way onto the circuit. Although by the looks of things, it won't be much heavier than this. Still dry around turn 1 and the first hairpin. It's dry through the penultimate corner. I think it has just dried out, unless... This is very strange. It was raining for a moment. It seems to have immediately stopped. And the track has immediately dried back out. Ryan now with a 16.8 second advantage over Larson. That gap going to continue to come down, especially as Ryan comes across lap traffic in front. And that is Guzman ahead of him. So I would imagine Guzman is going to jump out of the way without issue once he does get there. As I think that is a battle for 11th. And is Jesus and Orca going at it, although Jesus has picked up a lot of... He's actually out on the intermediates. I think he might have fallen for that burst of weather and has ultimately kind of screwed himself over here. So he's going to need to come. He's going to need to come into the pits to put on a set of dry tires again, and then needs to come back into the pits to fix the damage. So that's going to stink for him. As we are 12 laps away from the end here. Not quite within the window for the AMS drivers to come in and strap on their mandatory soft tires, but that window is very close to opening. As I would also just like to point out, they have such a pace advantage over the field here today. We have lapped everyone up to 6th place, and that is Vader up the next car up the road for S2K. And Vader's not going to the end on those tires either. There is a very strong likelihood we could see only the top 5, maybe even the top 4 only, finish on the lead lap. As we do have someone in the pits. I believe that is Jesus is into the pits. And he has put on the dry weather tires, so we would expect him back in next time to fix the damage. That would be crazy if S2K manages to lap everyone up to 4th place. Because it's not exactly out of the question either. Trying to see who this battle for position is. No, sorry, that is Ryan getting around Guzman. So everything else seems to be sorted for the moment. The question is slowly becoming, how far up the field does AMS put a lap down? And then, who ends up second on the podium? Ryan or Larson? Larson continues to close in at a rate of knots at the tune of almost a second a lap. But again, we believe both of them need to come in for their mandatory set. Well, we know Ryan needs to come in for a set of softs. I believe Larson does as well. Larson, however, does still need to make these tires last another 4 laps if he doesn't want his soft tires to completely shred at the end of the race. Larson has also pit like far more recently than Ryan, but he's already approaching the same wear level as Ryan has, despite the fact that Ryan has been on these tires for, I believe, an additional 5-6 laps? Potentially more. Guzman is in the pits. Curious to see what he runs to the end here, and he is onto the softs. So does he think he can make these softs last 10 laps? Gonna end up being a bit of a guinea pig for everyone else here as we start to wind down the race here today. Peme is in 7th for now. But it seems like he will more than likely end up dropping back down to 8th in just a few corners here, because Guzman has such an advantage on those fresh softs, and Peme's not really going to be able to. There's no shot Peme goes another 10 laps on those tires. Ramanos is into the pits, as is Vader. They're actually fairly close to each other. So do we see this become a little bit of a battle for position here towards the end of this race? And Ryan is into the pits. First of the AMS drivers in. And we're expecting to see soft tires here. So Gramanos is out on the softs. Vader is out on the mediums. Vader can run the mediums because he started on the soft tire. So while he's going to lose ground to Gramanos in the short run, he should be able to reel him back in toward the end of the race. Larson is now promoted back up into 2nd, but that is Ryan right there, only a second back. So after all of that time that Larson was able to gain on his medium tire stint, Ryan is now in the catbird seat on the softs and closing in rapidly here. Does he think about a move into the hairpin immediately? No. Not going to be close enough. We're right on board with him as he looks to set up the move here, though. Through turn 11, not quite flat out. S2K into the pits. We're going to assume he's also going onto the soft tires to the end here. As Larson now going to start feeling the dirty air from a... Don't tell me that's Orca again up front. Oh, Larson's out wide. He's onto the grass. Larson's going to hang on to it just about. As a car around... there was a car spun. I can't find who it was. Unfortunately, they have jumped into the pits. Larson is in as well. I don't know who just went for a spin. Someone spun out of the final corner. Either way, that is now Ryan back up into 2nd, and Larson did still have a mandatory set of soft tires that he still needed to run. So Ryan now with a 19-second advantage over Larson here. But he is 12 seconds back from his teammate, and these two should easily be able to go to the end from here. Just to see, is S2K going to start using some overtake here, try to go for a fastest lap attempt? If he is, he's not going to use overtake for it just yet. Ryan is, though, so why don't we jump on board with him as he looks to set potentially the fastest lap of the race. Through turn 1, minimum speed of just over 80 miles an hour. Flying down through the kink of turn 2 into turn 3 now. Third gear still over 100 mile an hour. Through 4, 5, into the hairpin of 6. Immediately up into third gear. Through turn 8, still not quite flat out though, unfortunately. Doesn't quite have the grip for it, despite having clean air in front of him. But now charging down the hill toward turn 11, so much commitment through here. A little bit of a dab of brake, and he's going to keep it neat and tidy as he continues. He's actually closing in on S2K over the course of this lap so far. Riding through in fourth gear, gonna bring it back down to the inside of the corner, planting the power, draining the overtake button, and across the line. Doesn't set fastest lap of the race because that honor has gone to Gramenos. Wrong button again. There we go. Gramenos, fastest lap of the race, a 1:22.7. Never mind, Larson steals it away, a 1:21.5. Larson takes it with a 1:21.5, but he used pretty much all of his overtake in the process of doing so. Now Ryan's all over the overtake button, trying to set the fastest lap. S2K, meanwhile, doesn't seem to be using it, so it is, we'll look back to Ryan as he tries to close in on his teammate. Keeping it neat and tidy, using the overtake basically at any straight portion of track he can. S2K still pulling away from him, though. And over the line, 22.3, not fast enough. Larson's actually brought that down, the gap down to under 17 seconds already. But he did go 2.5 seconds slower that lap, so I would assume he had a little bit of a traffic to deal with, or he made a bit of a mistake somewhere. S2K set a 22.0 that previous lap, as he now catches up to the back of Gramenos and Vader, who are now going to start battling it out. Again, we mentioned Vader able to run the medium tire because he started the race on the softs, so he's not obligated to run a tire that's going to wear out very quickly here. And those soft tires on Gramenos' car are really already taking a pounding here. Vader all over the overtake button here, trying to close in on Gramenos, but he's got to be careful because S2K is closing in rapidly. Ryan dropping back a little bit, gap now up to 13 seconds behind S2K. Larson held steady at a 16.5 that lap, so didn't make up any time. I don't think S2K is really going to have a chance to try to set a new fastest lap while he's caught up in the dirty air behind Gramenos and Vader here. The game's still thinking Vader, has front suspension damage. I'm still very unsure as to whether or not he actually does. He seems to be having a lot of trouble cornering, unfortunately, though, whether it's a combination of dirty air or whatever. And he is going to let S2K go here. So now if he wants a shot at that top 5, he's going to have to try to stay as close as he can to S2K, maybe try to pounce once Gramenos jumps out of the way. One would think Gramenos would try to do it at the hairpin here, just run the hairpin wide, let S2K go, and then try to get a good exit to defend from Vader. But no, he's going to continue to run his line, and he's going to let him go on the following straight instead. So good strategy for Gramenos, lets the leader go, and now he can focus solely behind him as Vader continues to close in. And that is everyone but the top 4 now put at least one lap down. As S2K rounds the final corner, 1 lap to go here at Autopolis. Which means Vader's only realistically got 2 shots to try to get around Gramenos. He doesn't have another lap. It is do or die. Gramenos trying to hang on. Those tires being worn down to a corpse. A little bit of lag inducing in. Vader gonna try to fire it up the inside. Gramenos covers it. He is down to a crawl. No front grip left on that front axle. And that's going to do it. No grip left. Vader just able to sail it up the inside in the high-speed corner. And that's going to be curtains for Gramenos and his shot at the top 5. It was a valiant effort, but through went Vader. But up at the front, it has been an indomitable race from S2K. It wasn't pole position, but it was tire strategy and tire management that won him this race, as he will round the penultimate corner, come through the kink, and it will be 2 in a row for S2K, winning in Autopolis and sweeping the first 2 races in Japan. Vader will be the next car across the line in 5th, and Ryan will come home a well-deserved 2nd. AMS 1-2 once again, with Larson going to bring it home in 3rd on a tire that is completely down to the carcass. On the cords, barely holding in any air. He did not have the he didn't have the tire wear to be able to bring the fight to the AMS drivers, but it was a hard-fought effort nonetheless. Larson brings it home 3rd, and Supa, how about him? He's been on an impeccable form this year. Another 4th place finish for him. He will bring it home just 2 seconds back from Larson. A great recovery for Supa. As we mentioned, Vader was 5th, Gramenos 6th. My, what a race that was. All right, folks. Well, that was certainly a strategy race of the ages. Why don't we go get our podium finishers in and conduct some interviews? Boy, isn't it such a great thing having all three of them at the top of my friends list as well? Hello.
Hello, Blade.
How's it going?
Good about yourself, Miller.
I'm doing good. I was just talking to Chet here about how convenient it is to have all three podium sitters at the top of my friends list because all of your gamer tags start with an A.
Haha.
So that's very convenient for myself, getting all three of you in here.
Ryan's going to be here shortly. Again, I don't know about adaptive yet, but yeah.
And speaking of which, hello, Ryan.
Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Oh man, I'm pretty good.
All right, well, I think we're just waiting on Larson to join us in a few moments here. So in the meantime, I guess, you know what? I typically go in ascending order. Why don't we do descending for once while we wait Larson to join us here? So S2K, we'll start off with you. Second race in a row, truly a return to form from last season for you, sweeping these opening 2 rounds in Japan. Obviously, the race in Fuji was just wet weather masterclass from you, and then obviously here today, the AMS cars just a league of their own when it came to the tire wear. Is there anything you could tell us? Was it just the way you guys were driving the car? Was there something you could do with like the setup? Even though the cars seem to be a lot more restricted in what could be changed, how were you guys able to be so smooth on the tires today?
Really comes down to the driving. I mean, this track is probably the most tire-demanding track in the game. If any track in real life. I mean, this track's gonna kill your left front tire. Like I saw some people pitting after 6 laps on a certain tire. So it comes down to the way you drive. You need to take care of the car, and the car will take care of you, or I should say, the tires. Yeah, and like not necessarily pushing too hard. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Pacing yourself is a really big thing. In terms of setup, there's things you can do. Probably won't disclose it here, but yeah, there's a couple things you can do with setup to help you. But a lot of it comes down to the driving. So yeah.
All right, so a few trade secrets then that we won't look to disclose, unlike a certain NASCAR crew chief. But regardless, interestingly enough, you raise a great point about how a lot of drivers were pitting even after just 5 laps on the softs we saw at the beginning of the race. Obviously, you guys looked to try to get the fastest lap, it seemed like, from your tire strategy, pitting for the softs for your final stint. Unfortunately, I believe that honor went to Larson. Was there anything else you really think you might have been able to do to try to snag that point back away, or do you think it was just unfortunate traffic placement that prevented you from getting it?
To be honest, I think I delayed my fast lap a little too much, so I can kind of elaborate. I came out on the soft tire, then I went another lap, and then my third lap on the tire, that's when I went for the fast lap, when realistically I should have done on the second one. Because by the time I finished my third lap, or like maybe halfway through my third lap, my tire overheated. Plus, I made a little mistake on the fast lap I was going on. Probably cost me 3/10 from that just alone. And then by that point, I knew I wasn't going to get it, so I just kind of played it safe for the end of the race, try not to put my front wing in a wall. So yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of front wings in the wall, we saw a few drivers have a little bit of trouble exiting turn 16, the third to last corner coming out from under the bridge. It was whether it might have been a potential lag contact or just spinning up the wheels. Is there anything that you might be able to tell us? Do these cars lose rear downforce if they have another car basically up underneath the wing?
They do, but it's to like a very little degree. but also the corner itself is really tricky because the way it's designed, it's kind of like an uphill bump, and when you kind of crest the bump, you might get a little bit of wheel spin coming off the rear. So it's a combination of maybe losing a little bit of rear downforce, but as well as spinning the wheels, which would probably get your car turned around and putting your front wing into the wall. So yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations once again. A absolutely astounding victory here today. So wishing you the best of luck, and we will see you in a couple of weeks for Daytona.
Thank you.
All right. And moving on to our second place finisher, Ryan. Another strong race for you as well. Again, I would assume a lot of that benefit coming down to just that tire strategy practice that you had with S2K, and then a little bit of the setup technology as well, we'll call it. Obviously, you were in amongst the mix with Larson once again, but tire strategy seemed to be able to put you ahead of him. Just able to run that those few laps longer gave you the gap you needed to jump him in the pit cycles. What can you tell us about it from your perspective, and how much the driver's capability comes into play with determining tire wear?
Yeah, first of all, it was a really great race. Always fun to race around this track. I was wanting it to be on the schedule for just because it was so good. But to answer your question with tire wear compared to like driver to driver, it really depends. And still be very smooth on the tire, and then some people could be really quick and very aggressive on it. So it really comes down to driving style. But if you look at it mostly, like if you're really, really quick, especially on this track, if you're trying to be as fast as you can, get the most out of the car every lap, you'll actually end up being slower because the tire temps get way too hot and you lose all grip. So there's basically no point of pushing too much on this track.
All right. So I'm having a brain fart at the moment. I suppose I'll wait. I'll keep you guys in here a few moments, see if chat has any questions for you guys. Unfortunately, it seems Larson isn't going to be joining us for post-race interviews, so we'll take this time to see if anyone in chat has any questions for our top two here today. Or do you guys have any things you want to say to the folks at home?
Well, first off, hello. I don't think we really haven't talked to the viewers, I think, at all, or at least like viewer or driver. But first off, thank you guys for watching. I mean, it's nice to see the interactions, the comments. It gives you the feel of like, oh, there's actually people who care, and there are people who actually enjoy this racing, and we try to bring the best racing to you guys. So yeah, I mean, stay tuned for Daytona. Stay tuned for the rest of the season if you guys have the time. And yeah, you guys have a blessed day.
All right. Well, I'm not seeing any... Oh, hang on. Evidently, the chat messages are not showing up on my TV, so that's why I've been missing them. Ryan, a question to you from someone in chat is, do you think you can challenge for the title this season?
I didn't know if I was on mute or not, sorry. Yeah, I think I can. I just have to get to the pace level that S2K has. This race has really shown like a step up and keeping up a bit more, because I do know he still has a bit of a pace advantage on me, but I still need to try to get that little bit extra pace, because I believe, oh god, I don't remember what the gap was in Fuji, but it was definitely less this time around, so I think I need a little bit more to get to it, and maybe a bit of luck, because I've had some pretty bad luck with going by lap cars, and I've lost multiple seconds this race. So, but other than that, that's basically it. Yeah.
All right, and then a question for S2K from the chat as well. How much did you improve just by upgrading your wheel? How much of an effect did that have?
To be honest, it's helped me feel the car, it hasn't made me any quicker, surprisingly enough. It's made me a lot more consistent, and I can feel what's going on with the car rather than looking for visual cues or listening for audible cues. Because on my last wheel, you couldn't feel anything that was going on with the car, so I had to train my brain to kind of understand, okay, if I'm hearing something that could correlate to how I'm driving in a certain way, or if I see something that I'm doing wrong, or if it's like I see something on track that might benefit me in terms of tire wear, etc. Like, I had to train my brain to do that, but now it's a lot easier to do with this wheel. So it's helped me become a lot more intuitive, and I can focus a lot more about being consistent rather than having to hear a lot of different things. So I think it's helped me improve a lot over a race distance and be a lot more consistent, but pace-wise, I don't think it's affected me all that much. So I hope that answered your question.
All right. And then another question, well, it was directed for S2K, but I suppose I'll pass this off to both of you. Advice on anything to a new young esports driver and how to succeed?
I'll let Ryan go first because I just said something.
Yeah, the main thing for young people, esports driver trying to get into sim racing and try to get really good at it, the main thing is going to be practice. Just put a bunch of laps down, get the dynamics of the car or the track combo that you're trying to do. But yeah, basically as you get practice, you'll just keep getting better, and it becomes muscle memory at some point, and then next you'll be up here racing with us at some point.
And then I'll say, one, don't rush it. Enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process, you will obviously get quicker. When I first started sim racing, or when I first started just playing Gran Turismo in general, I played on a controller, and I loved it so much I just kept playing, and as Ryan said, as you drive more, you'll become quicker. But another thing I would highly recommend to a new driver is challenge yourself. Put yourself into, let's say, a league like this. It's like this league challenges me to be a better driver. It's helped me improve my tire wear, my fuel management. It's helped me understand a lot more. Let's say it helps me understand the race scenarios a little bit better. So put yourself under some load, challenge yourself. Maybe even join a league. Maybe if you play Gran Turismo, for example, you could compete in GTWS. But never settle. Also, never settle where you're at. Always try to be the best you can be, or beat someone else. Set yourself a goal. And again, as Ryan said, you'll probably be racing with us sometime, or you'll be in F1 or IndyCar or NASCAR or whatever you like. So, cheers to you.
All right. Well, thank you both for tuning in or jumping in with me and having a little bit of an impromptu team interview. Unfortunate that we weren't able to get Larson in to have an interview with him as well, but hopefully we'll get the chance to ask him a few questions later on in the season. And with that, that'll do it for us here today. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. For those of you in chat, would love to hear feedback from you guys, whether just anything regarding the stream, the broadcast, how I can improve. And then obviously be sure to tune in April 18th as we head back to the Daytona Road Course. It was an absolute barnstormer last season with both the two lovely gentlemen here, but duking it out with Nico last time. So hopefully we get to see a little more of that this season. I've been Scorpio Blade. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, that is April 18th as we await for 52 laps at the World Center of Racing. Looking forward to that one. Have a good one. Goodbye.